Good afternoon, and thank you for attending today's webinar, Paper Piling Up, Move Your Faxing to the Cloud. My name is Andy Emery, and I'm the Senior Product Manager here at Biscom. I have many years of experience working directly with customers across all of our product lines to develop solutions that meet their business needs. Before we get started, I'd like to go over the usual housekeeping items. Please use the Questions tab to submit any questions you may have throughout the presentation. We love answering questions, and we encourage you to ask them. We will do our best to get to each question at the conclusion of the presentation, and we'll get back to any questions we don't have time for. If you encounter any technical difficulties, please use the chat feature to let us know about that. And finally, this session will be recorded, and the link to the recording will be sent out at the conclusion of the presentation. Now, on to today's agenda. Today we're going to talk about eliminating fax machines, phone lines, and piles of paper. You can save a lot of money, a lot of headaches, and a lot of trees by moving your faxing to the cloud. We'll discuss the current state of faxing in business today, as well as where it's going. And I'll also be talking about the top reasons to move your faxing to the cloud, some best practices, and we're going to finish up with a case study today. One word that describes the enterprise fax landscape today is half. According to Gartner, today about half of the businesses rely on fax as a core business process by using a fax server within their IT infrastructure. I've been with Biscom for over 18 years now, and since the day I started, people have been telling me that fax is going the way of the dinosaur. But our fax business has continued to grow year after year. As the Gartner research shows, fax is far from extinct. If anything, we have seen fax become even more of a business-critical application in many industries. And in recent years, Faxcom Anywhere, our cloud fax service, has seen the most growth. In fact, Gartner estimates that 50%, or half, of all businesses that have fax servers will shift their fax server infrastructure to an outsourced cloud fax service solution within the next 5 years. An increasing number of organizations are choosing to switch their in-house fax server infrastructure to an outsourced cloud fax solution due to the high cost of fax servers, telephony service, compliance, maintenance upgrade issues, and frankly, the headaches of supporting the system and dealing with the phone company. The adoption of a hosted cloud fax service can offer benefits to many industries, including finance, legal, insurance, healthcare, utilities, government, manufacturing, and education. Really any sector that relies on fax as an important and core business process in day-to-day business operations. The good news is that adopting a cloud fax solution is easy. With no phone lines to provision or complex installations, everything you need to send a fax is ready to go. Biscom's Faxcom Anywhere service has multiple options to best fit your needs for faxing. We offer office accounts where literally everything you need is ready to go in the cloud. All you have to do is sign up. With office accounts, your users can use our web client or their email client to send and receive faxes. No software is required, although there is an optional Outlook add-in that provides additional functionality. Enterprise accounts are for customers who need more advanced fax functionality, such as application integrations and advanced business process workflows. Finally, we offer a hybrid model where customers can run both premise fax servers and utilize Biscom's cloud services for either high availability and disaster recovery, or even just to handle periods of peak volume. I will talk about these options in more detail later, but first, let's discuss the top 5 reasons why moving your faxing to the cloud is a good idea. Enhancing the productivity of your users, reducing the overall cost of faxing, increasing the scalability of your solution to react to business needs, reducing your fax telephony footprint, and increasing security and compliance of the solution. Let's take a look at each of these in turn in the next few slides. The first consideration is enhancing your organization's productivity. In other words, doing more with less. Using a cloud fax solution like Faxcom Anywhere saves members of an organization from wasting time unnecessarily when faxing. The process of creating a cover sheet, printing the cover sheet, printing the fax out, walking to the fax machine, maybe waiting in line to use it, waiting for the status to return, and talking to friends on the way back to the desk all adds up to a lot of wasted time and a big loss in productivity. Now think about the users who are doing this multiple times over the course of a day or a week. That's a lot of wasted time not being spent on core business tasks. Instead, your organization can use a computer-based cloud fax solution that will allow the members of your team to process faxes in 1/10 of the time. They will have the ability to send and receive directly from their desktop and from their business applications. Not only is there a significant time saving on sending faxes, on the receiving side, your team members will be able to receive faxes directly into their email inboxes, into a desktop or web-based fax client, directly into UNC Share or a network printer. No more needless trips to the fax machine to see if a critical fax has arrived, and no more worrying about someone else seeing your sensitive faxes at the fax machine. You'll know right away when it arrives and where it is. Reducing costs that your organization currently spend on faxing is another big reason to migrate to Biscom's cloud fax solution. You'll see a significant savings in equipment you won't need to buy anymore. No more manual fax machines or the supplies that you need to keep buying to keep those machines running, and no more service agreements. As we discussed in the previous slide, there's a saving in user time and productivity, where we focused on the time saved. Here, we're going to shed light on the cost savings. Organizations aren't paying their people to follow the steps of printing a fax, walking to the fax machine, and then standing in line waiting to fax documents. They're paying them to be productive on core business tasks, which moving to the cloud fax solution greatly helps us realize. Finally, there's a huge cost savings in telephony. No more paying for phone lines to each fax machine, no more paying for maintenance on the machines, no more paying a vendor to wire your facility, no more paying for enhancements to your company's PBX switch, no paying someone to troubleshoot the lines in case of trouble. Continuing on our last slide concerning telephony, there's not only a huge cost saving in reducing fax telephony, there's a huge saving in headaches as well. Not only will you eliminate long-distance toll charges by moving to a hosted fax solution, you eliminate the need to make any line changes, such as if your organization moves from a legacy system to a voice-over-IP system. All of the lines you will use for faxing will reside in Biscom's data centers. You won't need to be concerned with the phone or voice-over-IP lines at all, and you can eliminate fax machines, MFPs, and fax modems, which not only cost money, but take up real estate, require a greater amount of human intervention than an intelligent hosted fax service does, and by their very nature do not lend themselves well to scalability, which is our next reason. A hosted fax solution provides a lot of advantages in scalability over legacy on-premise fax solutions. A cloud solution, such as Faxing Anywhere, provides the flexibility to scale up or scale down easily and quickly, depending on the changing needs of your business. Also, a cloud solution allows you to pay as you go. You pay only for the faxes that you send and receive. No need to pay for the extra ports for peak times. Our cloud solution provides a high level of availability, again allowing you to scale your faxing needs quickly and easily. As the fax server is hosted in the cloud and not in your company's premise, where it will be dependent on line availability, busy conditions are no longer an obstacle to a successful faxing solution for your enterprise. People who need to send faxes to you will be able to do so at any time, and you will be able to send faxes without tying up your company's lines at your site. Finally, our last reason, increased security of your faxes. Compliance and all the various security regulations that are out there today govern many types of business. First, our Faxing Anywhere solution has completed SSAE 16 Type 2 SOC1 and SOC 2 audit, which covers many controls including operations, uptime, and security. The fax images that are exchanged over the network between your premise and Faxing Anywhere cloud are transported securely point-to-point using SSL or TLS encryption. The exchange of sensitive information on the images you receive or send as faxes is secured against unauthorized access while in transit. Using a cloud fax solution allows your enterprise team members to receive faxes to their email inboxes or to a fax client on their desktop. No more sending a fax containing confidential or sensitive information to an unsecure fax machine or MFP that anyone can walk by and view the contents of your fax. Finally, with the host of new security compliance regulations that are out there for businesses today, a hosted fax solution can enable your company to comply with regulations such as HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, SOX, or Sarbanes-Oxley, GLBA, the Graham-Leach-Billy Act, and FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Depending on the type of your business, compliance with regulations as these can affect you quite significantly. With a hosted fax solution like Faxum Anywhere, you will have Biscom as your partner in helping to enable the compliance with these important regulations. Earlier, I talked about the different service offerings for Faxcom Anywhere: Office, Enterprise, and Hybrid. With the Faxcom Anywhere Office account, it's a pure cloud solution. No software at all is required. All you need to do is sign up your users and they can start sending and receiving faxes. Your users can either use our Faxcom Anywhere web client or simply send right from their existing email client. With our web client interface, users can send faxes, view their received faxes and sent faxes, as well as organize their faxes into folders. When users send a fax, they can enter one or more recipients or select them from a phone book, add a cover page and memo, and attach one or more files to be faxed out. They can also view the status of faxes they have sent in real time. When sending from an email client, users can simply send a fax by addressing an email to faxnumber@faxcomanywhere.com. There's also a simple syntax for including a recipient and company as part of the address string. The memo of the email will go out on the cover page, and any attached documents will be faxed to the recipient. Many customers choose to install our Faxcom Anywhere Outlook add-in, which provides additional functionality and includes an optional print-to-fax driver. Once installed, there will be a fax tab in Outlook where the user can access our new fax dialog and simplify fax addressing, as shown there. Or they can set their fax options. The options include sender information, cover page selection, and a number of other user preferences that they can set, such as scheduling. For customers who have more advanced faxing needs, Biscom offers the Faxcom Anywhere Enterprise solution. This solution combines the functionality of our full-featured premise fax solution, but connects to our multiple cloud fax data centers to send and receive faxes. This offers the best of both worlds. You get the advantages of our Faxcom Suite enterprise software on-premise, but without having to manage any telephony infrastructure. Faxcom Suite provides integration with directory services, including Active Directory and other LDAP compliant directories. Active Directory group policies and/or Faxcom policies are used to control the user's faxing environment. There are numerous clients available for users and applications, including web, desktop, mobile, and Outlook clients. Mobile clients are available for Android and iOS devices. The web and desktop client have the ability to send and receive faxes with options for workflow capabilities and broadcast functionality. Advanced fax routing is rules-based, and it's an engine that can be used to deliver inbound faxes to a variety of destinations while allowing for the automation of the workflow. It works by setting a condition and then taking an action. It can be as simple as routing based on the time of day, or complex, such as reading a barcode while doing an ODBC lookup. APIs are used to integrate faxing with other applications and processes, with web services being the most popular of our group. There are other APIs available, and you can certainly contact your sales representative if you're interested in knowing about such options as DocFlow or our COM API. Faxcom Suite can also be used to integrate with multiple third-party applications and with MFP devices from all the major manufacturers. If you're interested in more information on any of these options, go to YouTube and look up the Biscom channel, and we have videos that get in depth on most of the options we have for automating business workflows. The final configuration option is the hybrid option. With the hybrid option, you can have both on-premise phone lines and leverage the Faxcom Anywhere cloud service. The same Faxcom Suite software connects to both your premise telephony and to our cloud data centers. Faxes can be sent or received from either, and your users will never know the difference. There are two main configurations for hybrid fax, failover and overflow. Failover is when you use the cloud to send faxes in the case of a fax server or telephone line failure. Biscom's cloud service is used only when your premise faxing is not available in that case. Overflow is when the system is configured to use cloud faxing during high volume. Outbound overflow can be configured based on a delay, such as a fax waiting for more than 10 minutes for a fax line should overflow to the cloud. Some companies also use overflow for broadcast faxing. For example, if a company normally has moderate fax volumes, but once a month sends out a large broadcast, they can configure the broadcast to go through the cloud so it does not impact the normal fax activity, which continues to use the premise fax servers. You can work with your telco to define rollover inbound calls so that the Biscom cloud service is available should you get busy signals on your local fax server. So I'm going to go on to our case study. Today's case study is about Insurica. The Insurica Insurance Management Network is a privately held independent insurance agency with 12 offices and over 260 colleagues across 8 states. When you have 12 separate offices faxing multi-page insurance documents at a rate of about 10,000 pages a month, tracking all of those faxes for chargebacks and invoices can become an administrative nightmare. That's the situation that confronted Lee Matthews, system administrator at Insurica. Because of the faxing problems we were experiencing, I was tasked with finding an alternative to our on-premise fax application and identifying an innovative solution that met Insurica's business needs, said Matthews. Realizing our challenges and requirements, I felt it was the perfect opportunity to introduce a hosted fax service because it would be easier to use and manage. Before embarking on this search, Lee developed 5 criteria for evaluating possible solutions. Scalability. The solution had to support the entire 260-person organization and have room to grow. It had to be hosted and managed off-site. It had to have easy and reliable disaster recovery setup. Needed a 100% guarantee that fax numbers would never ring busy. And faxes had to arrive in a searchable PDF format. Insurica's archiving solution had to be able to search content across faxes and email in one search. After evaluating a number of products and using these criteria, Matthews determined that Biscom's hosted fax service met his requirements. During the research period, I didn't see any other product that had complete hosted package for our company, said Matthews. In addition to product capability, Biscom's experience and background was an influential factor in moving forward. Insurica is a great example of a business where cloud faxing basically eliminates what would be a huge management effort with a premise fax solution. Deploying and managing a fax solution across multiple offices can be a real headache. You need to purchase some fax hardware and provision phone lines for each location. If these locations are spread across different cities and states, you could also be dealing with multiple phone providers. With a cloud solution, you have a single point of contact for sales and support, centralized administration and reporting, and a single bill. With cloud fax services, you can just set it up and forget it. Not only is the day-to-day administration and support almost completely eliminated, there is no effort to scale a cloud solution. Since you pay based on your usage, you can scale up with no effort and never have to worry about overbuying. Planning capacity, adding fax hardware, and provisioning additional phone lines to multiple locations for a premise solution is a major undertaking, on the other hand. So that wraps up today's webinar. I hope this was informative and helped illustrate the advantages of going with a cloud fax solution. Remember, the research shows that fax is not going away, but it is going to the cloud. Now, let's move on to Q&A. If we don't get a chance to answer here, we'll contact you after. Okay, the first question is, can I move my existing numbers to Faxcom Anywhere? Yes, you can port numbers you have currently in use by your location or some other provider to us. You contact your phone company, and you really have two options. You can port the number so that number routes directly to our data centers, or you can have your phone provider forward that number to us. So it still technically hits you with your existing provider, but then they forward that call over to our data center. Of course, you can also get numbers when you sign up for Faxcom Anywhere. You don't have to have pre-existing numbers that you move to us, though that is an option. And over the next couple months, we will also be rolling out international numbers that you can actually get a phone number in France that routes to your Faxcom Anywhere account. Okay, can I split and combine fax pages? Yes, you can with our enterprise product. The office account really is based on simplicity. If you're working in your email, any splitting and combining of fax pages would have to be done manually in an external program. The faxes are received as PDFs, so you would have to, eliminate some pages or combine them however. But if you're using our full-blown enterprise product with our fax client and viewer, that has the ability to split pages, delete pages, combine, reorder pages, annotate pages, and fax those back out. Is there a limit to how many faxes I can receive at the same time? No, not really. You have, no matter how big of an account you are, even if you're just one user, you have access to our full range of fax lines. There's literally over 1,000 available at any time to receive faxes, and we've never had a capacity issue. And you, from the smallest account to the largest, have access to all of those. And here's a follow-up question. If you port your number to us, can you get your number back? Absolutely. If you port a number to us and then decide for any reason you want to not use that number with our cloud service, you've got very high volume or requirements that you want to move it to premise or something like that, you can certainly, or you just want to go with another vendor. If you ported that number to us, you can definitely get that back and reuse it somewhere else outside of our service. Okay, I guess that is it for questions. Thank you very much for joining us today. There's more information available on our website, so if you go over to biscom.com or you can follow us on LinkedIn or Twitter. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with us on this webinar, and we hope to see you next time. And as I mentioned before, you can also check out our YouTube channel. Just look up Biscom, and we have other webinars and videos on using all of our products, all of our clients, and all of our business process automation options. Thank you again, and good afternoon.